Hello. Today I'd like to spend just a couple of minutes talking to you about single column rubrics. This has been a tool that we've started using last year and then extensively more this year. It is benefits of it would include it's a great way to interact with peer to peer interactions around the standard and the product that's being created. It's also a great way for the teacher and the student to interact around their what they've produced. It gives a clear example of the criteria for a level 4. That's something that just takes practice and time. Don't feel like you have to be perfect the first time because you won't be, and that's just fine. But you'll notice here that here you can see we have the standard, and that's a link to the state standards and standard writing 9-10.2. Here are the ICANNs that we produce off of those standards, off of that specific standard. The criteria for number 4, we want it to be a description of quality as much as possible. We want to use the verbs that associate with the standard as much as possible. But again, we're looking for the highest level that we can to drive all students to that 4. And so in this criteria, as an example, for this standard, one of the areas that is broken down is the essay informs or explains a topic completely. And then in paren, research question is fully answered. So this is important. We'd like to add that in there as a guide, as a tool, because the purpose of this is simply to allow students a chance to look at their work, compare it to what is expected to what the 4 is. And then the second criteria would be there are multiple pieces of vital information that are fully analyzed, and again, in paren, broken down to find meaning, to explain the research question to the audience. Things like this, you'll want to make sure that you talk about what vital information means. What is that? What does it mean? So that students are aware of exactly what you're looking for. And then finally, the facts are synthesized, and again, in paren, brought together from varying sources to draw conclusions. Facts are introduced and fully explained. So you have that now, and the student can look at their essay and look for each one of these specific areas. And once they have a chance to look at that and see how their product meets or does not meet there, they can write, okay, this is where I'm on track. They can also write, not quite there yet. What we like them to do is, if they're doing this individually or with a peer, is to put a check mark where they believe their level is at this point, based specifically on the criteria for level 4. And so with that, we use that information and then would have the teacher and student collaborate and review the product compared to this single column rubric, and then write in some comments that would be helpful for the student as they move forward. Again, it's part of being able to grow and create a great product. Then finally, we do the plan of improvement. And what can they do to improve? We'd like the students to write the answers to this first, and then review those with the teacher, and they can collaborate together. So that's how we use a single column rubric. Regardless of what your area of your content area is, I would encourage you to take a look at using a single column rubric. I think you will find that it makes, one, it engages the students in conversation about their learning. It has them identify specifically what works and does not work with what they've created compared to that high bar of a level 4. And then it also gives the teacher some time to breathe and have that student already have been in the process of looking at their work. It creates less stress for the staff member. It allows for there to be a conversation. Very seldom does it come to where a student will say, well, this is a 4, when actually it's probably not even close to that. Typically, students will assess themselves, their proficiency level, much more harshly than we necessarily would as their teacher. So I hope you find this video helpful. There'll be more information about single column rubrics and how we use those, but hopefully you find this to be helpful, and I thank you for watching.